Bo Bergdahl, now he's getting a chance to tell his side of the story. Remember, he's the former Taliban prisoner, meeting now this morning with an Army officer leading the investigation into his disappearance, according to military officials. Some of his fellow soldiers say he deliberately walked off his base in Afghanistan, well, the small post really, and right into enemy hands. Sergeant Bergdahl spent 5 years in captivity. In order to free him in May, the U.S. traded 5 Taliban prisoners from Guantanamo Bay. Since then, officials say Sergeant Bergdahl has gotten therapy. And he's now working at a desk job in the Army post in Texas, where today's meeting is taking place. His lawyer, who is with him, reportedly called today's meeting more of an interview, really, than an interrogation. That was his take on it. The attorney also reportedly said his client is mentally ready and looking forward to answering questions. Well, depending on what investigators eventually decide, analysts say Sergeant Bergdahl could face punishment ranging from almost nothing to the death penalty. Let's bring in the judge now. Fox News senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano is with us. I feel like the way people view this is colored by their politics, because you can look at it and say, we don't really know. Maybe this guy was completely stressed out and sort of out of it and just walked off, maybe, done some drugs or something. Who knows?
Look, maybe he was
or maybe he was a traitor, but we don't know.
Or maybe he was kidnapped. I mean, that's the reason why you have an investigation like this.
Yeah.
And the investigators are professionals, so they've already interviewed all the potential witnesses. They've already decided whether or not there's enough evidence to charge him and convict him of a crime. But under the law, they have to give him an opportunity to talk to them. So there's no grand jury, there's no judge. It's just a conversation. What's unusual is the person leading the conversation is a general. This is not normally the job of a general. Normally it would be someone working for the general. So this general, Sergeant Bergdahl, and Sergeant Bergdahl's lawyers, and each side has advisors with them, will be in the room and they'll be having the conversation. And the conversation will give him an opportunity to give his version of things. He doesn't have to give his version. He can talk to his own lawyers during the conversation. They can suggest answers to him. They can whisper things in his ear. He can stop the conversation whenever he wants, and he can terminate the conversation whenever he wants, just as in the civilian side of things.
There's been a lot more investigating that's happened prior to the interviewing of Sergeant Bergdahl.
Oh, absolutely. I would imagine, Shep, that the people doing the interviewing today have already interviewed all of his fellow soldiers, each of his former commanders, and any eyewitnesses to anything he did, even American civilians, or if they can find them, Afghani civilians, because they need to know in their minds, these are prosecutors now, they're not judges, they're prosecutors. They need to know what evidence they have, what evidence has shortcomings in it, and how any words that might come out of his mouth today in this interview could help them with their shortcomings.
A former judge on matters like this, well, similar to this, suggested to me they'll get a pretty complete story, most likely, of his leaving the property. It's the period between then and the time that he was captured or whatever happened next that's going to be more difficult.
I think they probably assume that he was not free to leave. The question is, did he freely enter into their captivity? What was his state of mind? They need to decide, is this a goofy kid? Is this a naive guy? Is this somebody who was kidnapped? Is this a potential traitor? Is this somebody who gave military secrets in return for something? They need to come to a conclusion of where his mind was at the time he left his post and went wherever he went.
And those things can largely affect what's going to happen to him for the rest of his life. But finding out to some degree of certainty is probably going to be very difficult.
Yes. This is also an opportunity, by the way, for the investigators to get a feel for what he would be like on the witness stand if they charge him with a crime and he takes the stand in his own defense. So it's almost sort of a free sample, if you will, of how he reacts to questions that come from government lawyers. Flip side of this is it's his opportunity and his lawyer's opportunity through his mouth to give a version of events which might talk them out of prosecuting him or talk them into prosecuting him for something very low in punishment exposure, as opposed to one of the more serious ones, which, as you indicated, could be the death penalty.
That would be collaborating with the enemy, giving away secrets, being a traitor to the United States, working against your own country.
Or desertion, which produced a death. Now, in this case, we know at least one American soldier died trying to retrieve him, so that would count for that death would count for that.
Intent matters here.
Yes. What was his intent? And this is their first opportunity to ask him directly what was his intent. They can infer his intent from the testimony of the witnesses they've already interviewed, but here's their opportunity to get his intent, his memory of his intent, directly from him.
It'll be interesting.
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome, Chef.